Lewis Hamilton is easily one of the greatest drivers in history to get into a Formula One car. Love him or hate him, you really can't deny his greatness. He's just that guy. From being involved in numerous scandals to nearly breaking the world record for championships winnings, this man has had an absolutely insane career. Despite his overwhelming success, Hamilton is currently 38 years old, and this means his illustrious driving career is definitely coming to an end very soon. Keep watching to find out when Hamilton finally puts down his helmet. If you're a fan, this might just break your heart. Even though Hamilton might retire very soon, this doesn't mean that he won't want to go out with a bang. If you're following Formula One news last season, you'll know that Hamilton was quite serious about retiring at the end of the 2021 season. Throughout the season, it seemed like he was going to break the world record, but unfortunately, things didn't just fall right for him that year. Max Verstappen seized the trophy, Red Bull was victorious, and Lewis Hamilton was absolutely disappointed. He's quite upset about the loss, and shortly after the last race of the season, he threatened to leave Formula One for good. He wasn't even going to attempt to break the record in the next season. It seems like after talking to those around him and getting inspiration from his millions of fans on social media, the legend came back to grace the tracks once again. Back then, it seemed like the god of Formula One himself had descended from heaven to give the fans another opportunity to witness spectacular racing. Everybody was absolutely pumped and ready to see this legend back in action for what could have easily been the final season. Despite all that, one thing still lingers. If he decided not to retire back then, when is he actually going to put down his helmet? Recently, we heard news that Lewis was reportedly offered a 2-season extension with Mercedes. This development could see us watch the king of Formula One continue to race in his 40s, but can he go on forever? Definitely not. The contract does not include a bonus for winning the World Championship, but it does outline his plans for retirement in a few years' time. What exactly is going on behind the scenes? Well, Lewis Hamilton's current deal with Mercedes expires at the end of the 2023 season, but according to many rumors, there's an extension deal that is currently being written up for the superstar. Will Hamilton decide to sign it and devote more years of his life to Mercedes? The amount of money he would earn might give us a clue. The legend is set to earn around $62 million per season if this new deal comes to life. That is an insane amount of money for what he does. It's not as if he doesn't deserve it. Hamilton has put his mind and body through so much strain over the years that it's a wonder how he can even get into the car right now. He could have easily retired last year, but it looks like the legend doesn't want to leave the tracks anytime soon. He's definitely going to continue going after that record, which could give him the final fulfillment that he needs from his Formula One career. Hamilton also has a solid incentive to continue driving, considering that a contract extension would be a huge pay rise for him. Right now, he earns about $40 million per season, but the billion-dollar man is now targeting that eye-watering $62 million per season before he heads into his retirement. This new agreement will see Lewis remain as a key figure within Mercedes, especially after the curtains are finally drawn on his illustrious career. His close friend and team principal, Toto Wolff, would love to see him become an icon in Formula One, which is why he would want Lewis Hamilton to become an ambassador for Mercedes. Hamilton's future after retiring from Mercedes as a Formula One driver will see him become involved in social projects. This sounds absolutely perfect for Lewis Hamilton. It's a role he was essentially born for, because he's already had considerable success in ushering in a whole new generation of Formula One fans. It's certainly possible that he would be able to do it again, and maybe even do more than that this time. Hamilton will be involved in 2 major projects after his retirement, Mission 44 and Ignite God. Don't be scared, these are not James Bond code words. We're still not quite sure what kind of secret stuff is going on behind the scenes, so we don't really have all the details, but Hamilton is going to be receiving those funds as part of his contract going forward. Lewis Hamilton, who is easily the biggest Formula One star in history, is set to retire sometime in 2025. It seems he'll not earn any bonuses as part of this new deal, but he will try to secure a 10-year non-driving deal with Mercedes-Benz. This 10-year deal could see him pocket a further $22 million per year. Despite the fact that contract negotiations are still ongoing, Nico Rosberg, Hamilton's former teammate, believes Hamilton will not retire from Formula One. Rosberg believes Hamilton is fully focused and has a new long-term goal. He believes Hamilton is loving the challenge at Mercedes as well as attempting to win his 8th world title. Since the end of 2021, Mercedes have struggled to compete at the front, but Hamilton may be eager to get the squad back to the top. Rosberg told Sky Sports F1 that he thinks everybody, including Lewis himself, wants to see Hamilton get back at the front to compete with Verstappen. Nevertheless, for him it looks to be the case that he's relishing the challenge to bring Mercedes back to the front once more. Rosberg also believes that he can challenge for that 8th title because it's still possible for the veteran, so he doesn't see Hamilton thinking about retirement at the moment. Even if he decides to retire anytime soon, Hamilton would be absolutely loaded. He's definitely more business savvy than other sports stars that have retired from the sport. He's going to be in the leagues of Tiger Woods and Usain Bolt after all this is over. We can't wait to see what happens, but it's definitely going to be sad to see him retire. Hamilton himself seems to be very ready to face life after representing Mercedes on the tracks. Over the last few years, he's been preparing to get his hands into other things. Rather than spending the rest of his life in the career that gave him all of his money, he's considering popping up in the film industry like he has every now and then. He also has a bunch of other initiatives to boot. No doubt about it, Hamilton definitely knows what he's doing. In fact, the billion-dollar man is most likely going to be better than he has ever been in his life. Speaking of his post-retirement, it surfaced that Hamilton wants a $350 million deal with Mercedes, which would last until he's 50. This sounds absolutely crazy, given that he wouldn't be even driving for them during this time. He's definitely chasing a big money deal with his future former employer, but we can't really blame him. Lewis Hamilton appeared on a new Sky Sports F1 program where he answered questions while linked up to a lie detector, which would have pleased many of his supporters as he discussed his future in the sport. The 7-time champion has been a hot topic recently, with rumors that he's considering retirement, especially with Mercedes battling with the W13 car and its troubles throughout 2022. The team appears to be playing catch-up with Red Bull and Ferrari as the 2023 season approaches. On top of this, Aston Martin has so far demonstrated substantial progress from last year and will undoubtedly be a threat to the Brackley-based squad. Hamilton's current contract with Mercedes expires at the end of 2023, adding fuel to the fire. Both the British driver and the team president Toto Wolff, however, have expressed a desire to extend this. During the lie detector exam, Hamilton was asked if he planned to continue racing until he won his 8th championship. The Mercedes driver replied yes, which was confirmed as being correct, much to the happiness of fans. Although nothing has been verified regarding the 7-time champion's Mercedes deal, there does not appear to be any concerns. Hamilton stated in a recent interview that he's not particularly worried and is not in a hurry because he's on the same page as the squad. Fans are already having a clear idea of what the season will be like after the Bahrain Grand Prix and the qualifying session before that. It's already quite clear that the competition would be amped up to the max, meaning that Hamilton would not have such an easy time challenging Verstappen and Leclerc to the title. As we saw, some of the latest cars on the track are world-class technological specimens. In our opinion, this might easily be one of the most competitive seasons in recent history. If Hamilton plans to win another championship, and win it soon, then he must bring his A-game to the track this season. He would have to embody the Lewis Hamilton of before the 2021 season that we all knew and loved. Even if he doesn't end up winning that coveted 8th trophy, he would still consider it a wonderful career. A lot of Formula One drivers would give almost anything to have a career like Hamilton's. What do you think? Would Lewis Hamilton get that 8th trophy before he leaves? Let us know what you think in the comments. See you next time.